Well, guys, testing out the live stream here. Hopefully, everybody can hear me okay.
You know the moment when you feel like you've got life figured out? Work.
So, guys, I'm trying to mess with the lighting here, trying to figure out that part. So, got to tinker around here a little bit. It's the first time trying to do this down here. So, I'm hearing myself. Anyway, guys, can anybody comment if you can hear me and if I sound okay and if you're seeing me okay? Yeah, I know the lighting sucks. I got to get rid of this lighting and try to figure out the repositioning the camera here. This light is absolutely terrible, guys. Not sure what I can do to try to calm it down a little bit. Slightly better, but all right. Well, at least you can hear me. Sorry the lighting sucks. I am going to work on this, guys. I actually have stuff coming. I have some different lighting coming, and I have some different audio coming. So it'll sound better and it'll look better. This is my first one kind of going here, so please bear with me. So what we're kind of doing, trying to set up the stream right now. I'm trying to get some positioning done and just mess around with this for the first time. But my goal tonight was to work on the TYPHON. As you can see, it's not doing too well. Had it out today with the ramp and decided to land it directly on top of a curb from about maybe 2 stories up. So she didn't fare too well. But goal is to try to change this chassis out here. We're going to do it this way. I might try to go get another light here. So everybody, please bear with me. This is the first time I'm trying to live stream thing. But anyway, no, nothing is on fire behind me. This is just my terrible lighting at the moment. I got to get this lighting figured out. When I kind of did a quick test of it the other day, it was a lot better than this. But as of right now, it sucks. This isn't on my phone. This is on my computer at the moment. So that's kind of my issue. Gonna have to mess around with this a bit. Yeah, I know, guys, the lighting is terrible. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can get the camera positioned here, at least to be able to maybe void out some of the lighting and get more just on the bench. I'm not even sure where all the lighting is exactly. I mean, I know it's coming from up above, but this is just terrible. Yeah, this. Is it doable for the moment? Because I can't get rid of this light that's coming down from up here at the moment. I got these shop lights I ordered, or I got, and they just are unfortunately too bright. So maybe we're not going to do this tonight, because this is just, now that I'm looking at this, this is kind of unbearable. Well, we were saying the lights are fine, but I know they're kind of bright, guys. I apologize. I'm going to work on the lighting here for sure. I'm going to see if I can get this back a little bit more. I wish I was able to get more of just filter out this light that's up here. But unfortunately, I can't at the moment. But this is the first one, so changes are coming, getting better lighting, and like I said, we're going to change out the audio on it. We're going to get some real microphones that are coming and work on that stuff. So, also, bodies do not last very long in the cold. I know somebody in one of the comments on one of the videos recently was saying about the TYPHON body looked like hell, and it's gotten worse now. 30-degree temperatures in plastic do not mix very well. But anyway, guys, we're going to leave this up for a little bit. Anybody wants to stick around and watch, I'm going to change out the chassis on the TYPHON. Haven't had this thing apart for a while. Also had the granite out today for a while, and it had some hard hits, and unfortunately, I bent the motor mount on that thing also. So I got to tear that thing apart next and replace, or re-straighten the motor mount on it because it's pretty well toast. But anyway, we're going to get started on the chassis. Trying to look and see what all you guys are saying here. Yeah, the chassis are at least easy to replace out on these things. These things, one nice thing about these Armas, man, chassis and all the parts and everything are really nice and easy to change out on them. Yes, I did catch the crash on the video. That video I was putting together here tonight. But yeah, I did get the landing from the chassis when it snapped it. Came down right on the high side of the curb. Came right down on that thing in the worst possible spot. But anyway, we're going to get tearing into this thing. One screw, and we got just a front end off. Well, yeah, it's a cold one out here now. It's been in the low 30s, and we got a winter weather advisory coming for tomorrow. It's supposed to be a really bad snowstorm coming. So that'll be fun. I'm supposed to fly out tomorrow. I'm going to leave for a few days for work. I got to go to, where am I going? Atlanta. I got to go down to Atlanta for a few days and do the work thing. But the weather down there is at least going to be a little bit better, I guess. So I'm leaving the nasty weather, fortunately. But again, guys, I apologize for the lighting and the audio that might be going on here. It'll definitely be getting better. So just kind of last minute, I decided to come down and fix this thing before I leave tomorrow, and decided I'd try out the live stream thing for the first time. Trying to take a look occasionally and see what everybody's saying. Thanks, Alden. Yeah, first time trying out this live stream thing. Yeah, I got the chassis, new chassis sitting right here. Got it ready to go on there. I got it on eBay. I don't know, a couple months ago. I ordered that one, and I had just picked up because I found a short wheelbase version for the Granite for only I think I got it for like $8 at the time. But the long wheelbase, man, at the beginning of the pandemic, with the whole COVID thing, it was crazy the prices that these long wheelbase chassis were going for. I mean, people were trying to get $60, $80 for one of these chassis. It was nuts. But I did manage to get this one, I think, for, it was like 21 or 22 bucks, somewhere around there. So it wasn't terrible, but not too bad, I guess. But I guess we'll keep that out here. I'm going to try to bring this up just a hair. All right, well, we'll get the motor disconnected here. Get all the major parts out first. It was a mixture of a bad driver and a bad crash. I was launching it in my back parking lot here off my ramp, and I sent it a little too hard, and it overshot the grass and landed directly on top of the curb on the other side of the road. So it was just a bad landing and bad judgment of distance at the time. Luckily, there's not too much dirt packed in all the holes of this thing. It's always the fun part half the times whenever you're going to change out the chassis is all the mud stuck in all the screws and trying to get them out. It's been a little while since I did a 3S chassis. This is probably the third or fourth chassis I have replaced on this car. I have busted this thing, unfortunately, too many times. And this is actually the second time it's been on a curb that I have busted this thing. Yeah, the streams will look better here because I got an actual camera coming that I can really adjust and focus, and I have some different lights coming also, so I can kind of tone down some of this and not make it look like there's a fire above my head right now, unfortunately. Well, I guess we'll work on the front end first since it's already disconnected. There's always got to be that one screw. What hand wrench do you use? These the wrenches I got on here were the I don't know, these ones they have on Amazon. The sets I've been going, I've been using these for quite a while. Yeah, I've been thinking about ordering a set of the MIP ones or something like that. But these ones last really long, and they seem to lock in pretty decent on all the screws. Been pretty happy with them. This is like the second set I've gone through in like, I don't know, about 2 years. So they usually last about a year. And then the tips start getting a little loose and you don't really trust them and you don't want to strip out screws. So I've just got them and replaced them out. But I think you can get the set for like somewhere around $20. Somewhere right around that area. Seeing who's all in here. So we got Hardcore RC in here. Alden Cost. What's up, Adidas lover? How you doing, bud? How did I find the places I bash at? So whenever I was kind of starting to roam around and trying to find some different locations, there's a local skate parks, the one that's pretty close to my house. And then I was looking around at some different BMX parks and places like that. And, I had some fun at the BMX tracks. And then I started thinking about the motocross tracks. And I just started searching, online, looking around at different local motocross tracks and BMX tracks. And not going and checking them out and seeing if, they allow cars down there. Honestly, none of the places I've been to has really had any issues with me being there. I've gotten yelled at least, or scolded for it. So the motocross track, I talked with the owner that owns the track and talked with him and let him know what I was wanting to do. And he said, as long as they're not holding practice or, races or anything, he says I was free to be down there anytime I wanted. So that was awesome because I have a lot of fun down at the motocross track. It's a good time down there. I was down there yesterday with the Crate 8S. You guys probably just saw the video today of that. And it is just a muddy mess down there at the moment. And I always tend to wear the wrong shoes when I go down there. And just so you guys know, I do own boots. Just always seem to forget them when I go down there. I don't know what it is. I kind of go running out of the house to go head down there. And I always leave with whatever's on my feet. But I had to go to the shoe store last night and buy new tennis shoes because those were trashed. There was mud down inside. I had to throw out my socks and my shoes just because they were absolutely trashed by the end of that day. It was a mess. Hinge pins are a little bit snug. Do you make it? Anybody have a BXL? I see there now. Yeah, anytime I go somewhere, if I can find out ahead of time, skate parks and stuff like that, usually, you'll see signs, but I've never ran into that. But if it's like a BMX track or motocross track or something like that, yeah, I do try to talk to the owner because I don't want to be down there and, get yelled at or getting the cops called on me or something weird. So it's a lot easier to ask ahead of time to deal with possible consequences later. But so far, everybody, as far as with an RC car, nobody's ever really had an issue or gave me any problems with it. So, been fortunate with that. I think my 2mm tip for the drill has seen its days because it's just not biting right anymore. I got to get the steering screws out of here. It's weird. It fits certain screws fine, and other ones it does not fit right at all. Well, we got the busted piece of the chassis off. It was a nice clean break right in front of the steering housing. So, nice little crack. Thanks, Commander Astig. Yeah, I was excited, man. Hit the 1,000. Never really thought it was going to hit there. And again, guys, everybody out there, old and new subs, guys, I really appreciate, everybody coming and subscribing and checking out. And everybody attending the live stream at the moment. Really excited. So, yeah, the Kraton 8S it was nice yesterday to have the Kraton 8S come home in one piece was the great thing. Without a twisted chassis or something else broken. That car is a ton of fun, but it does not like coming down on one wheel from a high distance. It's always where I start running into problems. And that's what it was down at. I had down at the track yesterday with it. It came down at one time on that back wheel, and I thought for sure it was going to break one of those rear camber links again or something, but so far she's holding tough. That chassis I put on there, I was going to go with an aftermarket chassis, something heavier duty. But at the time I was trying to look around, and honestly, guys, I found that chassis so cheap that I decided to just give the stock one a try again. I managed to find that chassis on eBay for, I think it was 36 or 38 bucks. I picked up the stock chassis for. So for that price, I decided, you know what, I'll grab another stock one. And if I bend and break this one, which inevitably I probably will, once I destroy that one again, I will probably go with a different chassis then. But for now, I figured I'd just slap the stock one back on there again and see how it's going. Yeah, that's always the fun part is cleaning up, man. The cleanup afterwards, especially on the 8S, it gets so much dirt packed in everywhere, but it's worth it. It's always a good time down there. Well, we got the front steering post changed over to the new chassis. We're getting there. Now for the easy part. All right, well, we got the front back. Getting the front back together here. I remember to turn the torque down on this thing. I was using it on the 8S, and all of the tools on that car are completely different. You got to use between bigger Allen heads and different torque settings of things. I've had to go get a few different tools just to work on that truck. Sprays down a little WD before I put them back in there. Maybe, not real. So where do all you guys stand with WD-40? I know this always seems to be an interesting conversation every time I see people on some of the Facebook groups and different places about WD-40 and different greases and all that stuff. I love using the WD-40, especially after washing the cars and spraying everything down, like all the screws, all the drive shafts, and everything that's possibly going to rust in metal and gearing and stuff, just so that it doesn't rust, because WD-40 is obviously a water displacement oil too. I know it's not the best for lubrication, but it does do a good job of keeping things from rusting and pushing the water out, which is mainly the reason I use it, because anything that actually needs oil or grease, you use grease in those places. The felony. Yes, I am thinking about getting the TYPHON 6S. Actually, my local hobby shop had just called me when I was away on my last trip and told me that they just got a couple of them in stock down there. So I am considering going to get one, because the TYPHON 3S is a blast. It's a really fun car. So really am considering on grabbing the 6S version, because it looks like it'd be definitely a good time. Yeah, I love the smell of Simple Green too. I don't know what this stuff is. I love hosing it down. It does such a nice job on cleaning all the dirt and grease and stuff off of all the cars. That's why I sprayed on everything. I hit it real quick with the hose, cover it with Simple Green, let it soak for like 5 minutes, spray it off, and everything just washes right off of it. I love that stuff. If I can get the screw to actually start. It's not cooperating. Oh, there it goes. I got all the aluminum links in this one. They hold it pretty good. The plastic ones, they work decent, but they wear out really fast. And you end up with all that slop in all the steering really fast. What's anyone else working on out there? Anybody else got any projects going on? Or anything torn apart? Well, we got the front end back together. Gonna get it slap probably the ESC and all that stuff in there and get that part back together next. Yeah, I've never tried. I've seen that awesome orange. I heard somebody else talking about that. I've never used it, but I heard it works pretty decent. Oh, hey, Rocky, I just saw you pop up in here. What's going on, man? Try not this live stream thing. All right, well, let's get the ESC and all that good stuff mounted back up again. If I can get it to line up. It's not cooperating. I just noticed my antenna wire has worked its way back down out of the antenna. There we go. And no, I'm not winding them the whole way in with the drill. Almost, but not quite. Learned that lesson already the hard way. Then you have the screws that constantly fall back out. Need to get through your system, my slash. Yeah, it's always a hard decision to figure out what you want to get next time. It's like you get an idea. There's been multiple times I've gone to the hobby shop and had one idea of what I was going to buy. And then by the time I got there and looked at all the fun stuff, I completely changed my mind and left with something else. Doesn't seem like it's the right screw. Go in my jar of miscellaneous. Problem is trying to find the right pin screw. That might work. Now, too long. Maybe. I know I had a couple of ones I'm looking for in here. That's too big too. I'm sure it'll be at the very bottom of this jar. Or not at all. Oh, there it is. Of course. Also, guys, while we're on a live thing here and get any feedback from anybody, if I can pick this back up again. Does anybody have any idea? I know with my lovely lighting, it's gonna be hard to see. It's a shim. It's about 23 millimeters wide, and I found it on my floor after working on the Crate 8S and this TYPHON. I don't know, a few days ago, about a week ago. I came down here this morning and found this sitting on the floor, and I have no idea what it came from, and it does not look familiar, but very small little shim. Well, not a small shim, but doesn't look familiar. So if anybody has any idea what that might be for or go to, please let me know. I probably should put it back wherever it belongs. There we go. Now everything fits tight. This poor TYPHON has seen some days. This thing has been torn apart and rebuilt. I don't even know how many times now. What size LSD to shim? Sorry, wasn't paying attention for a little bit. Take it easy, Alden. Have fun at work, man. I don't know. It's not a plate. It's definitely a shim. It's not really sure. I don't know why. It does not look like anything I have remember pulling out of anything before. It's kind of strange. We're going to help with this lighting at all. No, it's this light. Still bothered by this light. Anyway. All right, well, we got the front end together, got the ESC and motor, or ESC and servo and all that stuff back in there. I guess we need to get the servo hook back up again. Clip. Well, we'll get the motor taken out of this thing next, I guess. I like the clips that they put on the new V3s, or V2s, whichever one they are, who's tracked now. But anyway, with the new ones, they actually got the two nice little clips on these things where you can actually grab a hold of this and get it, take the motor off. This thing is just a little too stiff and kind of hard to get out. So I always pull a screwdriver and then just kind of lightly pry on either side of the motor plate. Loosen her back up again. Man, this motor fan, or motor heatsink is a little on the loose side. Set that over there. You know what, I'm going to get the rest of the front on before I don't have the bumper on yet. All right, get the upper hook back up here. Get this thing finished in the front. Yeah, as far as that question goes with Arma versus Traxxas, I haven't owned every Traxxas car. I have had a few of them, the Rustler, the Slash, the two-wheel drive Rustler, and some different ones. But in my luck, I haven't had a ton of luck with them. Like the Rustler, for instance. I bought the car, drove it around in my back lot for literally 5 minutes, blew the shocks apart on it. Then I went and got new shocks for it the same day. Came back, put the new shocks on it, drove it for another 5 minutes, broke the drive shafts. So then I went and bought MIP drive shafts for it, which was the best thing I ever bought for that car, by the way, were the MIP drive shafts. Those things were still on the car the day I sold it. And they were really great drive shafts for sure. But there was it was just a constant, endless money pit for me with both of them. I was constantly breaking stuff, and the overheating issues I had was just frustrating. I was able to take the TYPHON or any of the other cars out and run them on a hot, 90-degree day and have no issues at all. And could go out and have fun. They'd get warm, they'd get hot, but they wouldn't shut down. And I could only get about 5 minutes every time I took the Rustler or the Slash out on a hot day. I could only get a few minutes of runtime, and they were overheating and shutting down on me. So it was getting really frustrating and constantly breaking stuff. I'm not saying, I hate Traxxas. I just have had better luck with Arma, and I'm familiar with and I like the ease of repairing them. Just like on the Rustler, for instance, on the Traxxas or on the Armas, you want to pull out the center drive shaft, it takes all of 3 seconds. On the goofy Rustlers, you have to disassemble and pull the whole front end loose on the thing to get the center drive shaft out. It's just little things like that that made me kind of go and stick with the Arma line. I just had better luck with them. I am still considering, and I was just watching Hardcore RC the other day with their new X-Max, and that is one Traxxas car that I am considering on trying again, is maybe trying and picking up an X-Max, because they would be fun. And so far, everybody that I see that has them has pretty decent luck with them. They seem pretty tough and pretty rugged, so there might be an X-Max in the future here. So, not saying I'll never own another one, but just saying I've had better luck with the Armas. I'll put it that way. Hope that answers your question. All right, well, I'm going to get the back end ripped off of this one now. All right, I'm trying to check in periodically. Yeah, and that was another thing that had bothered me with some of the Traxxas stuff, was the price of parts was just a little out of control. It was a little ridiculous for some of them, but we've also seen the same thing with some of the Arma stuff lately, and especially during COVID. Some of the prices of parts and just everything has been out of control. Yeah, the Haas is basically just a slightly taller Rustler, in my opinion, but the X-Max is one that I would like to give a try. I could go down there next week and go to buy the TYPHON 6S, and I can end up coming back with the X-Max and giving it a try, because I definitely want to get one. I want to try one. They look like a lot of fun. So see a lot of people beat them things pretty good and launch them pretty hard, and they seem to take the abuse pretty well. So could be a good time. They might have 3. Yeah, I think Hardcore was hanging out with Kevin too much. Started seeing that X-Max flying around. Oh, really? Armor parts are more expensive over in the UK? See, it's kind of the opposite way here. Traxxas stuff is more expensive than the Armor stuff. I was surprised changing out the chassis on the 8S the other day. How easy that thing went. I was gonna, do a video and record the whole session, but I think, like I said in the video, I was kind of just taking my time with it and learning how the thing comes apart and the easiest way to take it apart and put it back together again. So I decided not to, but it's a really easy car to change out the frame on. Also, I was really surprised. And anybody that's recently joined, again, I apologize for the light in the camera. It's not going to stay this way. There's better camera and lighting coming. Well, got the old chassis loose. Yeah, 30-degree temperatures, and this plastic does not mix very well. I knew when I went out there today to drive that I was going to break something. I already just assumed that and was okay with it. I wanted to get out and have a little fun before I had to leave tomorrow. Although I might take the mini low CT with me tomorrow on my trip. See if we can race it around a hotel room some more. Also, anybody that was, I don't remember who I was all talking to about the issue with this thing was pulling when I had it down at the skate park a week or so ago. It was pulling really hard to one side. You noticed it especially on the concrete. It would dart off to the left side really hard. And I changed out the differential fluid. I made a video of doing it. I just kind of did a whole video of, disassembly and servicing the differentials. And I went from, I had the 1 million weight fluid in the front and rear on this thing, which was kind of thick. And I went with, I think 50,000 is what I put in there. And I was running this today when I broke it. And I noticed a big difference. It pulled a lot less. It handled a lot better. And honestly, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think I was going to like it as much, but it handled really nice. It drove nice. So I'm just going to stick with the 50,000 in the front and rear on this thing because it worked out nice. It got rid of all the pulling, and I don't know if it was really what was contributing to it, or if it was just a matter of tearing everything down and kind of cleaning everything, if there's something else. But like all the bearings and everything are all very free, and all the wheels. I checked all the bearings and all that kind of normal stuff. Couldn't find anything that was, tight that would be causing it to pull to that side. But after redoing the diffs on it, pretty much I'd say 80 or 90% of the pull all went away, which the rest of it's probably just depending on which side's catching more traction type of thing. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. It's always fun sometimes trying to line up these drive shafts. Maybe. Which size? Where's the big side? Boy, she is fighting me. It doesn't want to go back together. There we go. Ooh. Don't want to lose those. The shock shims for the top. Check in and see what everybody's saying here. If I thought about getting into drifting RC cars, I've been contemplating on getting, into some street cars. I've honestly never really done a lot with the street cars. I've always just been, a more off-road person as far as, with the cars. I just have more fun. But I have been considering trying, maybe thinking about trying one of these, the felonies or something. I know Alvin Koss, I seen his, and he's been doing an awesome build on his with changing out and 3D printing all of his own parts. That car looks pretty awesome. And, I don't know if you guys watch CMW, Chris Woodward. He's been building some really crazy limitlesses now. Can't wait to see that thing running when he gets that thing all up and running. He's got some heavy duty power plants and a lot of work going into those things for sure. Definitely can't wait to see those things running. But I am contemplating on maybe trying one and trying it out. Just never really did a lot with the street. I've always just liked launching them and having fun out in the dirt. Well, that was smart of me, wasn't it? You see the problem here? I decided to put thing on and left the shocks hanging on the bottom, and now I can't swing them back over. Well, I guess I'll take the shocks off. And this has been the best thing I ever did, especially with all the 3S line, the 4S cars, especially with the RPM A-arms and all those with the longer screws going in those things so they don't pull out all the time. Always drove me crazy. The shocks would blow out and pull the screws out, lose your screw and drive you nuts. So going with the longer screws is definitely a great idea. Coming back together. Getting there. Oh, that's really what I did. Forgot forgot the brace. There we go. All right. Getting the back together now. I guess I gotta get the front one in the steering. Coming together. Almost there. So now I guess we will put the shocks back on this thing. One down. Yeah, I agree. The Felony and the Limitless look like something I could probably enjoy. Felony's definitely a great looking car. I really like the looks of that thing. It's definitely the first car that actually made me want to buy a street car. Not much left. No, I just heard it fall back out. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to having the other camera and audio set up here, because it's definitely going to make a little bit of a difference and not have all this giant light flare in the background. What's crazy is I tested it the other day and kind of looked at it really quickly, and it didn't look this bad, but on this camera, it's pretty nasty. What's everyone getting into this weekend? Anybody going anywhere exciting? Anybody else have snow? Like I said, we got a massive snowstorm coming in here tomorrow, but I won't be around to experience it. Be down in the slightly warmer south of Atlanta. All right, it's coming together. We got the motor, drive shaft, everything back in there. Everything's all hooked up. Now it's going to get a few more miscellaneous screws and some of the body posts and stuff like that in there. And be ready to rip again. Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, take it easy, guys. I'm not sure. So you got, oh, you're in Richmond. Yeah. Yeah, I know the snow can be fun at the same time. It definitely makes things a little more challenging when you're out trying to run in it between the life of the LiPo batteries and the life of your camera batteries. Everything's a lot shorter. When I was out the other day with the Creighton and the Outcast and all that, I couldn't believe. I mean, I was only getting like about 8 minutes of actual runtime on a battery. They were dying fast. My camera battery and my phone battery and everything lasted not even a quarter of its normal life. Everything died really fast. And then I had the ESC on the Outcast, of course, get wet. And that died, which cut all of that a little short. Really hope Arma does something with, especially that 6S line with their ESC boxes, because that little piece of foam they got in there to seal off the wires on the the receiver box. That piece of foam in there just does not do the trick. But it's nothing a little bit of silicone can't fix, but I feel like they need to come up with a little better solution than that. This piece of Velcro was always fun. Every time I've tried to get this back in there, it came out. Getting it to go back to where it's supposed to is never very easy. There we go. Get the screw for the motor brace in there. That was for that. All right, guys. Well, she's done. Got the chassis changed out on this thing. That wasn't too bad. I don't know how long we've been on for, but 59 minutes it says right now. So less than an hour, you can get the chassis changed out on them. Weather in Pennsylvania today, it's about weather has been around like 30 degrees all day, and that's half the reason why I busted the body shattered on the Granite, and I busted the chassis on the TYPHON. Probably added to it exploding, but yeah, it's been cold and it's going to continue to be cold. Tomorrow there's going to be the snowstorm coming in, so we're looking at pretty much a lot of winter weather fun. So trying to get also get some paddle tires ordered. Looking around and getting something. Trying to find some for the Creighton. The ADES would be fun. I found a set some guys recommended for the Creighton 6S's. Getting an order set of a set of the tires ordered for the Creighton 6S version. Some paddle tires. So hopefully rip that thing around. I siliconed off all the ESC boxes with some silicone, just a real thin coating around everything to make sure we can't get water back in there again. So at least I hopefully won't be killing any more receivers anytime soon. Those GT5 receivers aren't exactly really cheap, so I'm not trying to kill a whole bunch of those. What's up, Shane? How you doing, man? Yeah, I apologize. Thanks for the compliment, Andrew, on the live stream. I know that the quality of the video isn't very good and the lighting sucks right now, but it's going to improve. I promise, guys. I got better lighting, like I said, coming and different cameras. So the live streams will improve and we will get better. So till then, unfortunately, it looks like I got the light of God coming down on me right now. By the way, did anybody know? I don't know if I missed the comments or not, but did anybody have any idea what this shim might be from? Trying to figure this out. It's 23 millimeters total width. I found it on my floor, and the only two cars I worked on recently that it could have been from is from the Creighton 8S or the TYPHON 3S. And I don't know where it came from, but it appeared out of nowhere on my floor down here. And I'd like to put it back where it belongs, but I just don't even know where it came from. Yes, the cold does suck. It dampens. It definitely a dampener on the RC time between batteries and braking things easier. No, I don't have any extra motors or stuff. Everything I have is in use in cars at the moment. Did I rebuild the motor on your motorcycle? No, I never rebuilt it. The bike's only a couple years old. I've never had to rebuild that thing yet. But yeah, I know where you might be going with this, like a gasket shim on something like that. But no, I haven't rebuilt or done anything with that thing. The only thing I've done with it is change out the exhaust and some other miscellaneous parts. That bike's a ton of fun. The Vulcan 650S. Fun bike. The thing's a little rocket. It's amazing how fast that bike is. But I think we are probably going to come down to a close here, guys. We got the TYPHON fixed back up again. We got the new chassis under it, so she's ready to roll again. But I guess I'm going to head down to Atlanta for a few days. But I got a couple videos recorded between yesterday and today, and they will be out. I'll be able to post those while I'm gone. So there will be regular content coming, guys. So thanks, everybody, for joining the live stream here and the first time trying it out. It's a good time. Nice talking with everybody. And things will get better from here, guys. So thanks a lot, guys. So until next time, y'all be safe. Be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.